Hi, welcome back. Uh, in this video, we are going to discuss all the principles of software testing. So, you might think, what are these principles of the software testing? There are mainly seven principles for every to test every software. So, all these principles plays a vital role. I will tell you how. So, here are seven principles that are listed here. So, I will talk about each and every principle. I will explain it, what it is, and then we'll move forward. Okay? Testing shows the presence of first principle is testing shows the presence of defects. So, as we have been discussing about the testing part from last 2 to 3 videos, so you might have understood that if you perform testing, if the development was not done properly, you will find some bugs. So this principle says testing shows the presence of defects. So if we test the software, there is high chance that we get the bugs or defects. Okay. Next, exhaustive testing is impossible. Now, what do you mean by exhaustive? Give a thought. Exhaustive is when we will use this word exhaustive. When we have completely used all the resources, we will say that I have exhausted all the resources. We have completely done it. Then we say exhaustive. So, in software testing, exhaustive testing is never possible. Why? I'll tell you. See, if you have tested a software, okay, whenever there are new releases or new patches coming up, it's a high percentage chance that you'll get at least a minor bug. You'll get at least a minor bug where you might raise a issue again. Okay, so exhaustive testing is never possible. So why it is not at all possible exhaustive testing? Because we could find even minor or low priority bugs even after delivering the product. Low and minor bugs with which we can live with. Even the client won't come back to us. So these are possible. It's possible that we will find even a small minor bug. So exhaustive testing is never possible. Okay. Early testing. What is early testing? Just give a thought. What is this early testing? You might think testing the product in the earliest way, starting the testing as early as possible. You might think all this. So, I'll tell you. Early testing means testing the software from the initial stages itself. So we have been talking about requirements from 2 to 3 videos, right? If you remember. So if we start the testing part from the requirements phase itself, we will have a 99.99% chance to reduce the bugs. Now you might ask me, or you might think, what is the connection between these two? Why should how could we reduce the bugs from the if we test from the start the testing from requirements phase itself? Now I'll tell you. So let's say client has mentioned, if I click on send button in my email box, after composing an email, it should go to the recipient within seconds. Okay, let's say there was a small typo error. Instead of it should go, it was mentioned it should not go. It should not go to the recipient. It was mentioned small typo. Now you might think, is a small typo? Someone might identify it. Now BA has analyzed the story, he has designed the epics, he has designed the user stories, tasks were created, they were assigned to development and the testing team. Okay, but let's say BA failed to identify the small typo error. Okay, it came to development. Developer has developed the product. Designer has designed gave his designs, and development team has developed the product. None of them identified. It came to testing part. So let's say even the testers failed. In this scenario, let's say even the testers failed to identify that small typo error. It may be due to n number of reasons, due to the project deadline or something else, but they have missed it. Now from here it went to the production environment or client environment. Client is sending the emails, the recipient is not receiving the emails. Let's say he has some 1,000 employees. He is trying to send the email to to all the 1,000 people. No, it's not going. So this seems odd, weird. Now client would sue us, sue the organization definitely. Why? Because it's only why because there was a typo error which we did not identify. It was developed, tested, and went to the client. Now let's say there was a early testing happened. Okay. So in this early testing, when the requirements was taken, each and every point, each and every word was read thoroughly by the BA and understood, analyzed, everything was done, and identified this typo error and removed the typo. Okay. Now it doesn't go to development team, and now it doesn't go to designing team, development team, testing team. So early testing means starting the testing from the first phase, that is requirement phase itself. So if we start the testing from requirement phase itself, so there will not be a miss in the bug or the issues or whatever it is. So if we miss a bug at every level, when it reaches to client, it would be a huge reputation loss, financial loss to the client and to the organization as well. If this was identified in the initial stages itself, the cost involved to correct this issue was very less. So early testing is very important to avoid the issues miss at any stage of testing of software development. Okay, why I use software development? Because even though we are testers, there are development team, there are project manager, everyone is there, all are working towards one goal, that is developing the software. Okay, now what is this defect clustering? So cluster means group. Okay, let's say I do not have a proper example for this, but I will try to explain this. There is an application, there is a login application, but once you click on sign in button, it is not taking you to the login page. The complete system is getting crashed. This just says complete system is getting crashed. Or if you have logged in to the system, after logging in, you have help, contact us, services, and other tabs. You just clicked on services. When you clicked on services, help tab was missing, help tab got vanished, contact us got vanished, and every other tab got vanished. Now, what is happening in the application? So, there is one area in the application that contains major bugs. So this area, this part is called defect clustering part. Excuse me. Okay. So there is an area in the let's say there is an area in the application. By using that, by clicking on that, or by navigating to that area, every other areas of the application is failing. So all the bugs, all the issues are lying there itself. This is called defect clustering. Occurring due to a single component of software application. Okay, pesticide paradox. Excuse me. Pesticide paradox. So, what is this pesticide paradox? Let's say you might have learned about agriculture in your childhood, right? And, up to degrees or BTECs, whatever it is. So, let's say there is a crop. Okay, I'll just give an example. There is a crop. So there are pests every year. There are pests that eat the crops. What the farmers do? They use pesticides to kill these pests and keep the farming healthy, keep the crops healthy. Now let's say by using these pesticides, I wouldn't say that 100% of the pests or will be killed. There will be at least point not 1% of the pest that would be living or is immune to this pesticides. So if the same thing happens every year or every month, if the farmer is using same pesticide, will he be able to clear all the pests from his crop? No. In turn, the pest that is still present might get multiple. There is a chance. So pesticide paradox means, let's say there is an application, there are 100 test cases for this application, and in first run or execution of the test cases, we identified 10 major bugs and 5 medium bugs and 2 low priority bugs. Okay, these bugs were fixed. Let's say major medium bugs were fixed and low priorities also fixed. After this, if we run the application for n number of times, let's say some 10 times, and every time we are getting only these two low priority bugs. So is there any use to run the test cases n number of times when we are getting only those two low priority bugs? No. So this is called pesticide paradox. Okay. Testing is context dependent. Okay. Testing is context dependent. How many of you agree on this? Even if you agree, I know most of you would agree on this, or some of you might have doubts. How come testing is context dependent? Okay, let's say you're working for a bank. Okay, let's say you are working for a bank application. Let's say you're working for a bank application. Can you test? Your question comes is, can you test healthcare related software changes? What do you think? Can we test it? Answer is no. No, we cannot. If you're working on a bank application, we will be working on bank application only. We cannot test the healthcare related software changes. So here we understood that testing is a context dependent. If you are testing on a particular application, in a particular, let's say in a particular genre, okay, for our best understanding. So if you are working on a particular application, we will be testing only that application. Whatever the software changes come, that comes to that application only. We cannot test some other application to resolve the bugs in this current application. So testing is always a context dependent. Now the final and last principle of the software testing is absence of error fallacy. So what is this? What is this absence of error fallacy? Let's say client has come, asked for payments app. Okay. Organization by mistake developed e-commerce related app and delivered to client with least minimum bugs. Now, okay, now you tell me, you think and you answer for yourself for this question: will client be satisfied? Will client be satisfied? Answer is no, client won't be satisfied. Why client won't be satisfied? Client has asked us to develop a payments app. We have developed a e-commerce app. We have developed an e-commerce related app. How would client be happy? He will not be happy. He will not be satisfied at all. Even though if you do not have any bugs, even if you have 0 bugs in it, still client won't be happy. It's because client has asked for something else, we have given something else. So this is called absence of errors fallacy. Okay, this is why I repeatedly tell you to read the requirements or the specifications thoroughly. if requirements were given properly, or the analysis it was analyzed properly, and the user stories and the epics were created properly based on these requirements, there won't be such a problem. Now, you might think, when would this kind of situation arise? Honestly speaking, I don't know. This might arise anytime. We are humans. We can do we will do the mistakes. That is understandable. But this kind of thing is a blunder. We have to be careful. It can happen anytime. But in my career of the 7 years of career on into testing field, I never saw such situation happening. But it's not that it never happened. It might have happened. That's the reason this principle is added for software testing. Okay, guys, I hope you are understanding the course well. If you have any questions, you can contact me on arvindbrothers9@gmail.com. This is my email ID. This is my WhatsApp number. You can contact me anytime, or you can post a question in our Udemy question and answer section as well. I will answer your questions within 10 hours. That's for sure. Okay, I hope you're getting this. Okay, so what would be our next video? So in our next video we are going to discuss on give me a minute. Sorry, I forgot to open this. Not this one. It is our training program. Yeah, here is our training program. So we have covered till here principles of software testing. Next would be what is quality, how much testing is enough, or how much testing is required. These two will be covered in our next video. Okay guys, see you on the next video. Thank you guys. Have a great day.